Hi, I'm Cindy Kruger, and today I'm going to show you how the investments work in LegalSuite. Firstly, when an investment is recorded in the system, you need to have recorded the receipt. So your client pays your trust receipt. You then go to Receipts, Trust Receipt. You select your matter that paid the money. So let's say, for example, KRU2, and it was received from the client, how much they gave you to deposit. You then go and you post this amount, and if we go and we have a look at the matter itself, there's a 12,000 additional there. So now we need to go and invest this 12,000 Rand. What you're then going to do is you're going to go to the Payments tab. Now remember, money going into the investment account, that's paid via a payment, and when you're withdrawing money from the investment account, it's a receipt from the investment. So now we're going to go and invest this 12,000 Rand. So we go to Trust Payment, and it's on the matter, and you fill in the matter number, and here you can say investment of funds, or whatever you want to appear on the matters ledger and in your business ledger account. Payment from normal or reserved. So let's say, for example, you'd receipted the money into the matter, but you put it in reserved because you don't want any debits to go off of it. Here you'll select reserved, but in our example we're going to use normal. And payment to, you're going to go to the investment option. The moment you go to investment, it's going to ask you which investment account. Now because this is the first time we're investing money on this matter, there's no investment accounts listed here. So what you need to do is you need to click on the ellipse button, and it's going to say this matter does not have investment accounts. Would you like to add one now? So you say yes. It will then take you to your business ledger, and it will list all the investment accounts that's here. For our example, we have an investment account, Standard Bank. So I select it, and you'll see that it will now go to the investment account, Standard Bank. So you fill in the amount of the payment, so say 12,000 Rand, and you say OK. And you can see batched here, 12,000 Rand is coming out of the matters normal, and 12,000 Rand is going into the invested, and 12,000 Rand into the investment account. So you can say cancel, and you can post. If we now go and have a look at our matter, you'll see that in the invested column it's now got 12,000 Rand, and it's got the credit of 677.44. So now on the batches screen you also have an investments tab. This investment tab allows you to capture various transactions, for example interest, guarantee payments, direct deposits, or journals. Now mostly this tab will be used for interest. Investments should always go in and out of your trust bank account. So even if, say for example, there's a guarantee payment or a direct deposit, always receipt it into your into your trust bank account, pay it out, or vice versa, depending if it's a direct payment or a guarantee payment. So how do we uninvest the funds? So withdraw the funds from the investment account. You'll go to Receipts, you go to Trust Receipts, and by matter we're going to fill in our matter here. So you can say withdrawal of investment, and we're going to say receive from the investment account, and you'll see it automatically fills in the investment account for this matter. If I simply say 12,000 Rand, this figure next to it will be 0 because there's no interest earned. But if I go and I put in 13,000, it's going to tell me that the batched amount is greater than the amount invested, and an interest to close transactions will be created. You can say OK, and you'll see that it then shows you the interest that's been created. But I'm going to leave mine on 12,000. And you can say how it was paid in, and you can say OK. And now if we go post this batch and we go and have a look at the matter, you'll see that the matter now has the 12,000 Rand sitting in your actual balance of your account. Okay, then the next thing is what I was talking about, the investments option. So let's say for example my matter here that has money invested in it has earned interest. So you can say description interest on investment. Okay, type is interest, amount of 20 Rand. Okay, and then you'll see that the batched amount here, the investment's got the investment amount of 15, batched of 20 Rand, and it will be a total of 15,020 Rand. The other options here is guarantee payment. So let's say, for example, money is paid directly out of the investment account. You can select a guarantee payment. But the moment you say OK, LegalSuite is going to come up with a warning and say, please note that the guarantee payment is a direct contravention of Rule 21.2. So please rather go and pay the money back into your trust bank account and do a payment out to client, for example, so it's at least going through your trust bank account. And the other option here is a direct deposit. Rather pay the money into the investment account, so into trust and into the investment account, so that you have a proper record, because that's what the Law Society requests. The other option you have is to import your interest on your investments. So if we have a look here at our import spreadsheet, you'll see that your first column and your first line always says BATRAN, because this stands for batch transactions. So the BATRAN in that column is always blank. The next column is book type. Now book type is going to identify what type of batch transaction it is. So say, for example, receipts is R, payments is P, investments is I. So you'll see here that I've got I, so it's an investment transaction. Now matter 1, now your column, this is where you're going to fill in the matter number of the file that's earned the interest. Description 1, this is what's going to appear in your matter transactions and in your ledger account. So you can say interest earned on investment accounts or just interest. Option 1, this identifies what type of transaction it is. Remember, under the investments we had these various options. 1 is interest, 2 is guarantee payment, 3 is deposit, and 4 is journal. So we're obviously doing interest, which is option 1. This investment account is the investment account that it's coming in from, so the investment account on the matter, and then the amount. So you can then save your Excel spreadsheet to wherever you want to save it to. And to import it, you go File, Import, Import Data. You're going to say Add, and you're going to go and find where you saved your investment. And you say import. It's going to say, can it be converted? You say OK. It will then run through and it will tell you how many transactions have been batched. And if I go to my investments tab, you'll see that it's already captured the interest for you. So you can do this on hundreds of matters in one go. But I'll just use one matter as an example. You can then post this transaction. And if we go and we have a look at the matter, you'll see that it's now got 15 Rand extra in the investment account. And that's the investments in LegalSuite.